coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Can I be pushy? Yes. Obnoxious sometimes? Yeah, maybe. But I will roll up my sleeves, be independent, and work as hard as I know how for the families of Missouri all day long.
Senator McCaskill's been in politics for 36 years. She's been in Washington for 12 years. And over that time, she has become a party line politician. She said that she'd be independent. She said that she would be bipartisan, but she hasn't been.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Rick. You saw it live here on KOMU 8, the final U.S. Senate debate before the November election. Clearly a tight race between Claire McCaskill and Josh Hawley. Polls show them a point apart, and they're very far apart when it comes to issues like tariffs, border walls, and pre-existing conditions. Beginning our live team coverage from St. Louis, KOMU 8's Emily Spain.
Yeah, Jim, crews are starting to tear down things here at 9 Network Studios in St. Louis, where they had the debate here about 2 hours ago. Now, the candidates focused on a variety of issues, from health care to gun control, touching on tariffs and border security. More on those issues in a moment. But the candidates took different approaches tonight with the live audience of about 100 Missourians. McCaskill staying behind the podium while Josh Hawley left the stage and approached the audience when they asked questions. Now, McCaskill's big argument tonight against Hawley, she argued that he's afraid to stick up to President Trump and the big interest groups supporting him. She says she will go to battle against either side of the aisle if it's right for Missourians. And then on the other side, Hawley's main argument, he talked a lot about the time that Claire McCaskill has spent in Washington, saying that she's had years to make change that she hasn't done, and argues that she's just stuck to party lines.
But the truth of the matter is, it's just not working anymore. Senator McCaskill's been in politics for 36 years. She's been in Washington for 12 years. And over that time, she has become a party line politician.
And, you know, we have a lot of differences, but there's so many things Missourians agree on. Campaigns are a time that we highlight differences. But I think they should also be a time that voters take a hard look at which candidate can do more than criticize their opponent. Who can actually find common ground?
Let's dive into a couple of those issues. One major discussion tonight, the impact of tariffs on Missouri farmers. KOMU 8's Eric Graves joins me now to kind of break down where both candidates stand on this issue and specifically what they had to say tonight.
Yeah, Emily, tariffs in Missouri have really affected the pocketbooks of farmers. The tariffs have been on corn and soybeans. Josh Hawley came out saying that McCaskill isn't doing enough in D.C. to help the farmers back here in Missouri. Now, he also said, as far as the trade war goes, he's not backing down from the fight, standing with how President Trump has also spoken about the issue. Now, as far as McCaskill, she called the tariffs brutal, talking about how much the Missouri economy depends on agriculture, saying that not a single bean farmer this year is going to break even. Take a listen to what both candidates had to say.
Listen, we are in a trade war. It is a trade war that we did not start. Certainly our farmers didn't start it. China started it many years ago. But if we're going to be in the war, I'm for winning it.
When I said that, it was because I was talking to farmers. They don't want a handout. They want a market. It was me having conversations with farmers, not their lobbyists, not a trade association that makes their decisions on a whole lot of stuff other than farming stuff, but farmers.
The big points for both here was that Hawley said that he has the support of the Farm Bureau and that the Farm Bureau has given McCaskill an F grade. McCaskill saying she has the support of actual farmers and not the people who represent them.
Okay, Eric, thank you very much. One of the other major issues discussed tonight, health care. KOMU 8's Savannah Rudisell joins me now. And, you know, I would say the candidates spent most of their time discussing this issue, and there are two main things regarding
Absolutely. The two big things that they really focused on was coverage of pre-existing conditions and the cost of health care. Hawley says that patients with chronic illnesses like his son are being held hostage by Obamacare. He's saying Obamacare is really driving up the cost and limiting options for people when it comes to health care. Now, Hawley says he's also aggressively trying to put an end to it, trying to get rid of it. Now, McCaskill says that Hawley is acting recklessly in trying to put an end to the ACA without having a proper backup plan in place first. She agrees that reform is needed, but she also says that Josh Hawley isn't proposing anything feasible.
You know, this is so frustrating. He has no plan. He has no plan that will work. The only plan he's put out there was a press release plan, and both editorial boards said it was almost laughable how unworkable it was.
Here's the bottom line, is that Senator McCaskill will not support any plan to cover people with pre-existing conditions that isn't Obamacare. Obamacare was written to hold hostage people with pre-existing conditions so that you'd have to have Obamacare supposedly to get this coverage, and that's exactly what she's based this campaign on.
Savannah, there was one thing that the candidates did agree on when it came to health care.
And if it's that, it is that the big insurance companies and big pharmaceutical companies are making way too much of a profit off of these health care costs. Both of these candidates know that politicians are going to have to work across party lines if anything workable is going to be put in this place.
Okay, Savannah, thank you so much. So much was covered. It was a jam-packed, hour-long debate. They also talked about minimum wage, right to work, border security, a lot of topics covered. If you missed any of that, be sure to check out our live blog and live stream on Twitter. You can find that on our website, KOMU.com. For now, reporting live in St. Louis, Emily Spain, KOMU 8 News.